Cheap fertile land. Too good to be true, you said.
You were the one who told me we should try our hands at farming.
Land under our feet is nothing but clay and salt.
Who says we can't try anyway?
If you came all this way for arable land, you might as well get back on your ship and leave.
Maybe he can help us.
We're not taking another stranger at their word.
He's a godlike, not a stranger. What have we got to lose? A gentleman sold us his farm, sight unseen, of course. He boasted of making a fortune off the living lands.
We risked everything for this opportunity. The place is in shambles and Earth is barren. As if we could afford to move. Price of land has tripled since the Adirans arrived.
So do we find a way to squeeze life out of this dead farm? Or do we cut our losses?
Dawn sure needs farms. Let me finance yours on behalf of Adrian. 100 copper is actually not too bad though. So I think I'm gonna do it.
Oh my goodness, this is more than enough for seed, and we'll need workers for tilling the soil.
One thing at a time, my love. I don't know how to thank you, but if you want us to farm, we'll farm. Our first harvest is dedicated to Adir, and that's a promise.
You know, sometimes it's kinder not to give people false hope.
Wow.
We've weathered hard times before. We'll survive this.
Hardship is part of frontier living, right?
At least this is a home we can call our own.
We'll be thinking of you come next harvest. Just you wait. We'll make this land ours. We'll be thinking of you come next harvest.
I'll take tilling the fields over life in the city any day. At least this is a home we can call our own.
Kai doesn't agree.
Despite the name, the Living Lands isn't an easy place to make a life, but it breeds resourcefulness.
You're saying that, but you were just upset that I gave those people 100 copper to make an attempt at a farm over there. So it's nothing wishy-washy. Would I die if I jump from here? Oh! Okay. God damn.
Bootleg wine have to do with animals.
Hide it under the wine and nobody will look for it. Honestly. Envoy, we didn't realize you were in the area.
2 guards, wine, and a dead body. There's a story here.
I hate it when they cut off a conversation just to go into a cutscene. You know, just let me listen to what they had to say. What happened here?
Fawn and I caught this man trying to load a crate onto the lift. Turned out he was smuggling animancy equipment.
So we've closed this lift down as a precaution.
You saw a man with a crate and attacked him?
Of course not. We asked what he was carrying. Then he drew a knife.
He clearly wasn't expecting us. The locals must turn a blind eye to these things.
In the meantime, sorry, you'll have to go back to the main road.
Did you find anything of note on the body?
Haven't searched it yet. We were only meant to be keeping watch, you understand? You're welcome to take a look if you think you'll find anything useful.
I'll ask you to refrain from using the lift, though.
I'm an important business. I'd appreciate it if you let me through.
Well, since you're the envoy, I suppose we can't stop you.
But if you bring so much as an Audra stone with you, we'll find out.
Envoy, nothing to report.
Niall, I find myself in need of a third essence generator and another parcel of resonance amplifiers. I know it was a bear wrestling the last shipment from our friends in Fior, but my master there has led me to believe that they have more than they can use and thus can stand to spare a few should they make a fuss. I release you to offer them an extra shelling each machine they'll part with. I have included extra here for you. Walk in the light, Sargamus. That was Sargamus's minion.
All quiet here for now.
Wait, they didn't give us the key?
Good find.
Oh. Unique ring. Slowly regenerate health while wet? What kind of bullshit. The perfectly circular shape of this coral suggests that it did not form naturally, but rather was shaped by a skilled moral mason. It retains its vibrant color, suggesting that the coral still lives despite being removed from the water. When submerged, the ring's color, even more striking, and a sense of calm washes away. Oh.
Hope you don't mind spiders.
Should I even go in here?
Over here!
Another glorious battle. Here it comes.
A metal medallion inscribed with balanced scales, the symbol of the goddess Wadika. These medallions are granted to Steel Garret members who have displayed exceptional zeal in their service to Wadika. Nice.
Stand back.
Note to the survivor. This note is written in small handwriting, using a piece of graphite likely found among the stones nearby. To the survivor. If you have come this far, I hope this note serves as warning to you. You no doubt survived as I did, by escaping through an underwater tunnel into this very chamber. Initially assured by the lack of bones in here, animal or kith. Clearly the spider cannot reach this place, I thought. To my elation, Heather's worries would once again be unfounded. Of course, as I was left to my own thoughts for day after day, I realized the relative isolation of this chamber was more curse than blessing. Just as the spider was barred from entering here, so too was anything that I might consider potential food. Fish, game, birds, all were captured and destroyed well before they could reach my doomed sanctuary. I feel my thoughts fleeting me as I write this, looking to find a body not so racked with hunger. Your choice is to die here with me, or to brave the spider's predatory wrath once more to escape. Even now, I'm not sure which is the more merciful death. I don't know. It's relatively peaceful, I guess, outside of you just getting hungry, you know, but you can grab these mushrooms. I guess they're not edible, but at least you have water, you know. And I know he could have gnawed on those bones too.
Ready? Aim.
Oh, no wonder you didn't want to leave.
Quiet as the depths. Let's see what you got. Another down.
Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh shit. Ooh. Unique armor is highly coveted. Each has its own story and each is enhanced with powerful enchantments. These armors all provide some combination of passive effects that increases attribute buffs, distinct behaviors, even new abilities. Explore living lands and complete side quests to find unique armor that best suits your playstyle. Every now and then, this horrifically sized spider legs seem to twitch a little. Whether that's just your imagination or not is hard to determine. The bounty hunter in paradise will pay well for the completion of this bounty. Wait, that was a bounty? When taking damage greater than 20% of your maximum health, your attacker receives 100% of the damage. That's actually pretty hot. But not very useful for my character. The Steel Garrote, a ruthless paladin order in the service of goddess Wodica. They are feared throughout Aedir for their unwavering determination to punish Oathbreakers. Though this armor bears the marks of combat with the monstrous Spider Queen that its owner fell prey to, it is no longer effective for them. Blessed by a priest of Wodica, this armor ensures the safety of its wearer by punishing those that dare to strike them decisively. It doesn't even look that great. Oh. Oh. double check, make sure that we got everything. Okay. Guess that was it. How am I encumbered when I'm 132 over 175? Oh, because of earlier when I was switching my gears around. That was before the cavern. All right. A remarkably small fish is displayed on this wooden plaque. Engraved at the bottom is a small bronze sign. Is the following text: Eda's first catch. May this be the start to a long, prosperous career as an angler. There's a dead person somewhere. There's an X. In here? Oh. And nobody came and just claimed that house? Seems like I can't get back into the city. Oh, here's the main gate. Yeah.
I think we're done here.
Oh.
Guess the deer and discipline doesn't apply to him.
Next one's mine. It's mine now. Didn't stand a chance.
Another win.
But who's counting?
Where are the spiders here? They block it because they don't want to deal with it.
Coming in hot.
I don't think they really all know about company.
Good one.
Oh. That's why it's locked. Okay. Is it up there? Yep. No, I don't think you can get up there. And this map is just so misleading. Maybe it's over here. Oh, yeah. Damn. So they blocked off that area because they don't want to deal with the spiders. It's just funny.
I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Hey, it's the envoy! Envoy, hey! I swear, I owe you the world. I own the world. He saved my life, remember? Yeah, you only told me about 100 times. Hey, where's Yeda? Is everyone else on their way?
Who? Oh, yeah, that's dead. We're just gonna kill him, right?
No. Oh, God. Does he mean...
They didn't make it off, Rick. I'm sorry.
But you saved Cadman. You couldn't save them? Or you didn't try? What happened?
The Oracle killed him.
Godless scum. What?
They probably went quickly, if that helps.
I can't understand this. Hey, Offric, hey, listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves, better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if. Does you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead?
I killed him, don't worry.
At least they got justice. And I got my brother back. And don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me. What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy.
What's next for you two?
Ambassador Heelgard has written to Expedition Command back in High Ground to see if they'll let us come home. While we wait for their reply, I thought...
Wait. Let me guess. Mermaid's Den.
You told him? It was a moment of weakness. I thought I was dead. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this. It belonged to our grandfather. He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us to remind us to live well.
How do you decide who gets to wear it?
We take turns. Cadman had it last, so he gets to decide what we do with it.
I'll treasure it.
Well, I'm sure you've got big envoy things to do. I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything. If you're ever in High Crown, look us up. Yeah, we can drink to the core together.
I will. Take care of you too.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them may even get a happy ending.
Yes. You are dirty-minded, aren't you? You're almost thinking about fucking one of them. Not too long ago.
First time in my life I ever really felt part of something. And now it's gone. I keep thinking if I look away, he's going to disappear. Envoy? I'm going to Miss Yeda's campfire stories. Do you think the ambassador will really give us leave to go home? I wonder what the girls at the den are like. I hope they're nice. Thanks again, Envoy. Envoy? Envoy? I don't know what I would have done if he'd... I know I should be heartbroken the team's gone, but I'm just so glad he's here. I hope you take us up on those drinks in High Crown, Envoy. I wonder if the mermaid den is open. Envoy? Envoy?
Dexterity and Parkour speed. A thin band of Adra bisects the center of this simple, unaffected gold ring. The metal is well worn and scratched in places, as if it had adored a laboring hand for many decades. The band's interior is engraved with the words, "Don't look down." Oh. Maybe it's better with the upscaling off. Let's see. Probably not, but yeah. Maybe FSR is better. No. Wait. Oh yeah, if that doesn't improve performance, then let's try fidelity FX. It'd be funny if fidelity FX actually works better. No. This game got issues for sure.
Tragedy. Recently arrived envoy from Avowed was assassinated just inside the front gate. Killer is still at large.
That was me you're talking about, huh?
A captain from the Valian Trading Company seeks a criminal known as Trevik. Trevik and his crew are believed armed and deadly.
I just wish that this is like full screen, you know, there's actual full screen. Okay, before we keep going, let me just also let's take care of that.
Welcome back, envoy.
I have a bounty to claim.
Show it here.
Nasib has been slain.
I don't envy you having gone into that horrid place, but I'm thankful you did so. Be safe out there, you hear?
59 XP, that's it. Dang.
Good. You made it back.
What do you want? Quickly! I have an audience waiting for me.
Where are the other actors?
Nursing their headaches, I assume? My friends thought it'd be funny to get roaring drunk last night. Only one showed up today, and he was in no shape to perform. They've all gathered out there, and I don't have a show to give them. I can't play every part myself. I just can't.
Why not? I'm sure the audience would love to laugh at you.
You're right. I was foolish to even consider it. I wasn't cut out for this Esperanto. And I'm not here either. I'll have to come up with some excuse for why we're closed today. Just leave me be, will you? Haven't you gawked at me enough?
doesn't even matter. Oh, the graphics look horrible. Guess I set it to 1080. It still looks pretty good, actually. But all the little details are like gone. Should just set it to auto.
Good. You made it back.
Jeez, there's so many freaking letters.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai. Tej. I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure did it.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs.
I think there's more to the story here.
Well, Kai?
Come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Battle Rock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
Jesus. Should I try to kill someone, Tig?
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy?
Why are we gonna encourage him to fight with our guy? I guess just to egg him on. Come on, Tig, you're not going to stand up to Kai.
The 7-foot-tall Almawa with biceps the size of my head? No, I am not.
Flatterer. You know I'm barely over 6.5.
How about you answer some questions for me, Tig?
Naturally, sir. How can I help you?
Oh. I'd like to understand Paradise better.
What would you like to know?
Dang, there's plenty of options here. When was this city founded? Who lives here? Do we really want to know this?
If you're looking for a particular year, the first thing you should know about Paradise is that this isn't the kind of place where the locals keep records. And though it might be considered a distant backwater by the rest of the world, this city is the height of civilization by the standards of the living lands. As for who calls this place home, I suspect you could find a criminal, confidence man, or prophet from every civilization in the world here.
Hey, come on. You're gonna give the envoy the wrong idea. We've got draft dodgers, courtesans, and revolutionaries, too. You know, all the fun people.
In any event, as far as I can tell, Paradise has been this way since its inception. Thus the eclectic display of architectural styles. If nothing else, this city is a reflection of the countless people who have passed through it on their way to the interior.
What are Ader's intention in Paradise?
Depends on who you ask. Ambassador Heelgard will tell you that our remit here is to establish a secure and orderly environment from which to engage in trade. Inquisitor Liudwin will tell you we're here to break the frontier.
So, which is it?
Why not both?
I'm not hearing anything about the Dream Scourge.
That's where you come in. Whether you find your desires aligning with the ambassadors or the inquisitors, neither can succeed until the Dream Scourge is ended. We are only beginning to see its effects here in Domshore, but the closer to the center of the island you go, the worse it gets. That bear you and the ambassador encountered in the Strangle Route isn't even the worst of it, and the tide of this soul plague is rising higher every day.
How did the Paradisans feel about us?
Look, for all that I complain about this backwater, there are good people here. Same as anywhere else. People who want to be able to walk to the market in the morning for their bread and eggs and know they won't be mugged. People who like it when the mail comes on time, and their skates are made from real copper, and their neighborhood peeping Tom ends up in the stocks. Those people, good and honest people, who pay their debts and honor their contracts and remember to thank the gods. They like us a lot.
Tell me about the people who tried to kill me.
The resistance, as such, are largely a group of misfits and criminals intent on undermining the rule of law. They take out loans with smaller deer and banking houses and do not pay them, then assault the bankers who attempt to collect. They agree to contracts with families in Adir seeking homes, and when their ships arrive, promptly abandon them. When we levy a small tax to fund the repair of city roads, they set our counting house on fire. And when our fishermen return to port, they board their ships and sink them.
That's certainly one way to characterize them. It's not exactly wrong, but it's not exactly right either.
For decades, people like them ruled this city through fear. We imposed order, and now they oppose us. You, unfortunately, were caught in the crossfire. By all means.
The Emperor didn't have time to brief me on the living lands. What do I need to know?
There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific?
How do the living lands and the Ader compare on the map?
Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of the globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds.
Where are the living lands in relation to Adir?
The living lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the living lands, situated along the equator.
How about the weather, the terrain? I need to know what to expect.
The living lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the living lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow, while east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. I'll share what I can.
Who's in power here?
There is no singular authority in the living lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the living lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Fior Messaverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the living lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, Well, the colony saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the Republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the Republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky to have had no interest in the living lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the living lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pagrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane. I don't know why
You have no idea.
I have to assume they're all insane. I don't know why you have no idea. I have to assume they're all insane. I don't know why you have no idea. I have to assume they're all insane. I don't know why you have no idea. I have to assume. Naturally. The Pargrunen are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they have made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pargrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. Of course. Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwig is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deathfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodaka wasn't done with her yet. Cryptic Neil! I remember him fondly. I took every upper-level course the university offered on memory and recall to circumvent the Walian glamour on him. And even then, it only barely worked. I had to look at him out of the corner of my eye and half cross them while thinking of something dreadfully boring like, grimoire repair. On the upside, it's made me an exceptional clerk. But that's neither here nor there. We were discussing Death Guards. Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deathfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I have heard of none others except those I've read about in the histories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a Death Guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle. I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same. Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deathfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodaka. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodaka's priests, or Wodaka herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say. Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Boudica's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Boudica does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. I'm an open book. I trust whoever told you to consult a watcher also told you to avoid the one in the city. She is a liar and a thief.
Oh, did she take your money?
No. Anyway, watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn. The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Boudica's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves. A watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad. Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know.
Well, the Watcher of Cagnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Runed, of course.
And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul.
Doubtless there are others, but most don't meet a good end.
Of course.
Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here.
If that man sleeps,
I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the claviger far more than he lets on. And without the claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me.
He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose years later, he still does. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. By all means. Should you ever need me, I will be here.
Ooh.
Safe travels, envoy.
That was a long ass conversation.
Envoy, is it really you?
And I mean long. One of the longest conversation with an NPC ever in a video game. Alright, before we talk to this guy. you serious?
Can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? Homesick already? After what you've been through, I can't say I blame you. But there's work to be done on the frontier. Good work. And I need you here at my side. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. Captain Seemerick said you have a missive for me from the Emperor. Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness, at least someone understands the gravity of our situation. Here's something to tide you over. But your work isn't finished just yet. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the dream scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. But a plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit, the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think. The Steel Garrote got involved, and it turned quite ugly.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion to being told what to do.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These paradiscan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the living lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Blend in, for one thing. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing, the health of your soul is another. I'm sure that a scholar of your prestige is more than capable of self-diagnosis, but time is of the essence. Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. You'll have tales aplenty, that's for certain. A long tapestry of battle scars. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Ballarrock? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
I can't tell you how grateful I am that you survived the attempt on your life. But let's not dwell on unpleasant matters.
boy.
No one's come to claim him. I suppose I should take him.
Pair of bells now.
Keep your helmet on. He's only been there a day. Ah, I've seen.
Damn this city. Every day someone new turns up dead.